Hello, Tom Lavecchia here with the latest edition of the New Theory podcast. Going to do a quick electorate college review for you and give you my predictions of the 2020 election. I left the blue states that are historically blue, I left them blue, and the states that are historically red, I left them red, bringing at Mr. Biden at 203 to Mr. Trump at 125. So number one is Arizona. I'm going to go Arizona's red. Historically has been red, although there has been somewhat of a population shift over the last few years. I see this going red. Colorado is considered a battleground toss-up state, but has a lot of left leanings. I just see the left sweeping up those 9 votes. So goes Florida, so goes the election. Maybe in this case, maybe not. But in this case, Trump has spent a lot of resources in Florida, and I see the Venezuelan and Cuban vote being the underbelly to give Mr. Trump the 29 electorate votes in Florida to give him, again, he won Florida in 16, and I see him pulling it out in 2020. Georgia, although there's a lot of rumblings, a lot of diversity, a lot of different ideologies in Georgia, I see this sticking red. I see the big conservative movement there and staying conservative. This is an interesting one, Michigan. So Michigan could go Trump, but in this particular case, you have a lot of blue-collar workers that are having a disparate impact because of COVID. And although he is the economy president, although he talks about jobs, when it comes down to it, coronavirus is crushing Michigan. People are not better off than they were 4 years ago when you do count in COVID, and people are voting the now. And I see Michigan going blue. The reason why Hillary lost, barely lost Michigan, she didn't do a great job in the state in terms of campaigning. And then number 2, a lot enough people came out for her. But in this particular case, with early voting, etc., I see Michigan going blue. Minnesota. Minnesota has a lot of blue cities, Minneapolis, etc., and there are rural areas that are conservative to make this almost a toss-up state. But in this particular case, I just see it going blue. Again, manufacturing has dwindled. There's less manufacturing jobs than there were in 2016. And people tend to vote with their wallet over their heart. They're not affected by the proposed tax rates by Mr. Biden. So I see Minnesota going blue. North Carolina, to me, this is an easy one. Still a lot of conservatives and in rural areas that call the shots. Some local state elections that are going to produce results for Reds. People tend to vote down the party line in conservative areas. I'm giving those 15 votes to Mr. Trump. Ohio, Republican governor, although is moderate, is going to go red, going to stay red, and that is an easy one in terms of an analysis perspective. Pennsylvania, okay. Some people may not like this. I see Pennsylvania going blue. Here's why. You got Philadelphia, super blue. You have Pittsburgh, which is historically a blue-collar area, very blue. Blue runs deep there. I don't see Trump overturning that. And then remember, it's also Biden's home state with the population of 75,000 people in Scranton, and people love a hometown hero, albeit he's been out of pocket for a while. I give Pennsylvania to Mr. Biden. Wisconsin, as we know, the tragedy from George Floyd has put Kenosha and Wisconsin on the map. With that said, I just see a big outpouring amongst black voters, brown voters, and enough to keep Wisconsin blue. You also have Milwaukee and Madison, which are deeply liberal cities, which I believe will usurp the rural vote. Nevada. Trump spent a ton of time in Nevada. And with that being said, he has a strong ground game there, a lot of resources. The casinos have been decimated. There is a large Hispanic population there. I think the Spanish population is actually going to shift somewhat towards Trump, and just like Florida, are going to deliver the 6 electoral delegates to Mr. Trump. So brings us to Texas. Although there has been a Democratic shift, and the fact that Texas is even thought of to be a state that you say, hey, you know what? Maybe Biden has a chance. This is going to stay red for the foreseeable future, albeit the Joe Rogans of the world have moved there. A lot of California influence, nevertheless, is going to stay red. Iowa, it's going to stay red. We talk a little bit about saying, hey, you know what? We're not sure what's going to happen in Iowa, but Iowa has very Western values, tend to be somewhat conservative, are concerned possibly about social leanings for Kamala Harris and Mr. Biden. So we are going to give that to the red column. New Hampshire, although it tends to be a little bit towards the libertarian side, which may lean red. It is in Northeast City, a lot of Northeast ideologies, a lot of Northeasterners that obviously live there that are from neighboring states, especially those that may have even moved because of COVID into the area. And I have to give that blue, which brings us over the hump for Mr. Biden. I'm going to split. I'm sorry, I'm going to give Nebraska here for Mr. Trump. And I'm going to give the subdelegates in Maine to Mr. Trump. So there you have it. You have a squeaker. That's my prediction. And I predict that as per each state analysis. Sorry for not giving you a deep analysis. I wanted to keep this under 10 minutes because I don't want to go too deep and in too big diatribe. But nevertheless, I have Trump at 272. I'm sorry, Mr. Biden at 272, who will be your 46th president, and I'm Mr. Trump at 266. Let me know what you think of my analysis below. Reach out to me, Tom and New Theory, and feel free to input your numbers as well. Either way, no matter who you vote for, it's important that you do vote. It's what our democracy is based on. And this is just one humble guy's analysis of the Electorate College. Have a great day and make sure you vote.